Good day, Father Matt Williams here in my parked car. We're reflecting on the story of the prodigal son. We're reflecting on the fact that Jesus tells this story in response to the scribes and Pharisees who says that Jesus welcomes sinners and eats with them. We're also reflecting this in light of this Jubilee year where we are called to be merciful like the Father. So the son, as we know, ends up in the Kora Makra, right? That great wide open emptiness, because sin never makes us happy. Sin always leaves us empty. But that's the reality, and unless you have the grace of God, you end up going from one thing to the next. Well, we know that the young man, when he hits this great wide emptiness, right, he ends up poor and he's got nothing. So he ends up working with the pigs. And if you know anything about the Jewish culture, right, pigs are an unclean animal, right? So for this young man to be working with pigs means that he's hit rock bottom. He's hit rock bottom. Can't get any lower. He's hit rock bottom. Now, here's the thing. When you hit rock bottom, you have a choice to make. You can either begin the descent up or you just wallow in the mud. Many people that have been through struggling with alcoholism and drug abuse, hit a point of rock bottom where they come to their senses and they make that decision. You know what? This isn't leading me anywhere. I need to do something about this. I need help. I need help. And that's what happens. The scripture says this man, he comes to his senses. He's hit rock bottom. And he's no longer going to wallow in the mud. He's no longer going to wallow in the emptiness. He comes to his senses and he says, I have sinned against heaven and against earth. I no longer to be called my father's son. But you know what? Even my father's servants have it better than I do right now. I'm going to go and beg my father for forgiveness, and I'm going to seek to just become a servant in his house, because that would be far better than what I'm going through. He comes to his senses and he starts walking back towards his father. And as he's in the midst of that journey, the father catches sight of him from a distance and runs after his son, which is not necessarily customary in the Old Testament times and Jewish custom. It was always the young person that approached the elder. Never would the elder necessarily run after the young person. It kind of flips the tables a little bit. Why? Because the father misses his son. He loves his son. He's actively looking for him. He catches sight of him and he runs after him. And the son starts his spiel. He gets on his, Father, I've sinned against heaven and against earth. I no longer deserve to call his son. And the father's like, shh, don't say anymore. Don't say anymore. What does he do? He has clothing put on him, shoes on his feet, a ring on his finger, and begins a celebration. Why? Because the son was lost and is now found. He was dead and he's now alive. We see the unfathomable mercy of this father. This mercy for the son who wished his father dead. He embraces him, hugs him, kisses him, loves him, and welcomes him home as if he has never left. As he's restored to a dignity as if he has never left. This is the amazing story that Jesus wants to communicate to us about the mercy of his Father, because we are called to be merciful like the Father. More later. God bless you.